almost like a whole of the learning process, everything you need to learn to knit as well as knit the product that you've got. Receive your kit, which has everything inside of it: needles, yarn, sewing needle, easily adapted pattern. Then you might get a little bit confused, so you can go online and we have free video tutorials for all the different stitches. You'll be flying away, knitting row after row, and at the end you've got your product and you're ready to do it in another colour.
I'm really very nearsighted, but don't wear glasses, which means that my world is very blurry and mostly colorful. So that's kind of what inspires me in dyeing yarn, just to focus on the colors.
Late 20s to late 30s who are very self-expressive, but need to look polished. They need to be professional, and they travel a lot. They move around. They need their clothes not to fall apart just because they look nice. Definitely somebody who moves through the world.
I had an idea that I would do a book of my favorite literary heroines, and I would design sweaters for all of them. And so most of my favorite literary heroines are 19th century characters. And I realized they weren't part of the literary canon that exists. They were my own characters. And I thought, well, you know, what would be really fun would just be to write my own story and illustrate it and put knitting patterns in it. So I could bring all of my interests together in one place. And that's how this book came together.
We'll all brainstorm together. We'll kind of choose colours that we think are going to be on trend. And then we'll do lots of research, gather all our inspiration, and then we'll start sketching. And that's like the best process.
Once I have an inspiration for something and I have a specific piece that I want to make, it's just lots of measurements. Knitwear, the measuring is a little bit different because it actually grows to fit you when you put it on. So I'll have to measure the actual person and then take that and say, well, based on what I want this to fit as, how would I adjust that to, fit a certain way based on the design decisions. Once all the math is complete, then I have to translate that into a knitted gauge. Once that's done, I just knit. I would say 70% of getting something made and finished is actually all of the math and the prep work. Another 20% is the actual production, and that last 10% is detail work, finishing work, ironing, packaging, tagging.
If I don't want to write, I can do watercolors. If I don't want to paint, I can do the knitting. And if I don't want to do the knitting, I can do something else.
Knitting, I am doing exactly what women have done for centuries. It connects me with the generations past and the generations to come. In teaching my daughters how to spin, that's really something that I know they will carry with them all their life, and they can pass it down. So we're just one big chain. Kind of like the fibers that loop themselves and attach themselves to each other with the twisting. Clothing needs to be like a second skin for us. It can reflect our moods and emotions, our spirit, but does not have to constrict us. And it should be something that you forget about.
Knitting has given me as far as shape and texture and drape and things like that, I've become much more interested in what designers do than I used to be, and how their clothes work.
Art is the vision, and craft is the function. And without the two, you'd never see anything beautiful. Just thank you for taking the time to interview me, and yeah, Tabby, pick Chelsea.